First thing, we'll be taking the blank that I've cut out. I've added a little extra material all the way around for the folds. And the first thing is taking it to the wheel. So wheel it up, get a little bit of shape happening in there, and then put like a little bit of a roll up in the top here where it's got a bit of a roll. Put that in there, and then yeah, I'll make a little template just to the shape that this has got to be through here. And then get that close to the shape, and then start working on a few other areas. So we'll take it to the wheel first. I'm going to make a little bit of tooling for the power hammer so I can run the body line through and along the top of this door. So that door is full of filler and the line's a little bit out of whack in a lot of areas, so it's not really a correct line. So I have gone and picked up the actual guard for the car, and this body line up here in the top is the line that I'll be making here to run through the door into the rear quarter. So I'm not going to be moving a lot of material for this body line. If I was moving a lot of material, I would typically use steel dies. But for this being a flat panel and not a lot moving, I've got these hard plastic blocks. They are rated to hold 20 tons, so it's fine for using on the hammer. And these are really good for aluminium parts and for little one-off steel things too. So I'll transfer the shape that I've already made out of a bit of steel that fits up nicely up on this body line. So I can transfer that to this block and then set up the block, and then set up the backstop as well, so I can run a straight line all the way through this door skin. So we'll do that body line, and then I've got to add a couple other little bits of shape that's in the door skin too. So there's actually two little sort of rolls on this as well that needs to be in the door skin, and the top roll's there but the bottom one not so much, just because of how wrecked that door has been. So I can get those distances off here. We'll add that into the skin too. So take it to the hammer. I've gone through, power hammered up the style line that's in the top of the door. It did put a little bit of a crease in there, so I've run through and just cleaned that line up. I could do a little bit more there, but generally all the way through there it's pretty cleaned up. So that's out of there. The style line is put in there, and then I've gone through and put that gentle roll that's in the top and bottom of the door skin. So I've done that over the gas bottle that I got here, and this is how the door skin's looking pretty good. Everything else is going to be turning edges and doing a couple other little detail parts in the store, and a little detail part that's up in the top of the pillar, so we'll hammer that in And for the gas bottle, I've chopped the top off it. It's a pretty handy thing to have around. It's got a nice little bowl at the end that you can hammer into and use as a dolly as well. But if you're going to have one of these and you're going to cut into it, make sure that there's absolutely no gas in there. Don't want you guys blowing up. So make sure they really are empty, absolutely. So they're a pretty handy thing to have around. And I'll drop the blanket over the top just to stop any kinks happening on the edge while I roll that around, and just sort of work more so in the middle than near the edge and move the sheet around. Just makes for a nicer finish. And if you do that, you can do it in a slip roll as well, but a slip roll can kink it a little bit too. So that's why I've gone down the route of doing it like this. And I've got a few different bottles for different applications at different sizes as well. So that's another nice thing. We'll keep going, crack on into doing a few more parts of the skin. I've gone around to my mate's place. He had a longer folder. Mine's 1270 and this door skin was 1300, so I was 30 mil short. So I folded it all the way, and then I've opened up this area, and then I'll hammer in the details and stuff around here so I can clean all this up. And then the folder's maxed out, so the back of the door skin touched on the folder, so I can bring this edge around a bit more by hand, up to 90 degrees, and then just hammer it in this little section here. So I've got to cut some stuff out so I can drop that in fully, and then hammer in this section up around here. Most of the door skin's done, everything but the door handle. So this is how it is looking. I've gone and stretched out the material in here. So I ended up getting my ball peen hammer and hitting that down into what was existing on this door, just to stretch that in there, and made a little cardboard template that I could put up on the edge and get this angle of where this needed to be, and then just work by hand, just fine tuning and just cleaning up in there a little bit. So stretch the material in a fair bit. It did go quite far and it split, so I just ended up welding up a little bit just up in here. So that's all in, sort of that pillar section's done, and then all the edges are turned. So this is how it is looking, and the bead roll down the bottom where there's a bit of a style line that goes through the bottom too. So that is basically the whole door skin. It's looking pretty good, and I've just got to put a door handle in it now. So typically I would hammer and stretch the material in and do a door handle, but the door handle on this one's in pretty good condition, and here it is here. So for this case, I'm just going to cut out that hole and then weld in the door handle that is in here. I've made some measurements off where it did sit, and I can put that in, and that'll finish off the door quite nicely, and I don't have to stretch a crazy amount of material in here, and I can weld that in and finish that up quite quickly. So add the door handle in, and then we're done with this door, and that's a pretty nice door skin. So it's pretty good. It's a 2-door, so it's quite long. So it was a bit of a mission wheeling on my own, trying to keep it flat. So bear that in mind. If you got a mate who can help you out wheeling something this big, definitely go and call up a friend for sure. So we'll put the door handle in now and have a look at the finished product. That's the door done. So door handle's now in there, and I've given it a little tap up here. You might be able to see that, and that's just where the power hammer tooling just made a little mark in the door skin. So that's it for this one. Hope you guys learnt something, and yeah, so door skins are actually pretty easy, really. There's not crazy amounts of shape in them. And it's just setting up your lines, making sure your body lines are in the right position, and your edges, when you're turning edges, that they're in the right position too. So yeah, always line things up when you're doing it, and these are the results that you can get. So hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.